All right, guys, it's Dave from CigarNoise TV. We're here with Rich.
Hey, guys.
And we've got Stephen Bailey of Cornelius and Anthony.
Hi, everybody.
And this is our second episode, 10 rounds with Cornelius and Anthony.
Well, I've spent my entire life in the tobacco industry. Grew up in a tobacco field and basically left the tobacco field for a tobacco warehouse, and then decided to get into the tobacco products business back in the early 90s, and that's kind of where life changed. Started to learn things like the word attorney and costs and failures and education. So learned a lot over the years in the tobacco industry. We've had some successes, and it's been good enough to keep the lights on around here for over 20 years now. So we're thankful that I've got a job. I look around, see a lot of folks struggling, and I get to live 9 minutes from where I grew up and do what I love to do. So I'm pretty blessed.
Round one. What's your Cornelius and Anthony elevator pitch?
You know, we take it seriously, and we feel responsible for providing a product that people enjoy. You know, folks only have so much time to sit back and enjoy a cigar, and we think it's important that we give them the best that we possibly can, and you know, that's always our effort. We take a lot of pride in it, so we make some great cigars. Complexity is really the name of the game for us. We like to pack as many flavors into a cigar as we possibly can, and so far the reception has been outstanding.
Right into round two. In our community spotlight, you discussed the background of the Cornelius and the Daddy Mac. What's the backstory on the Venganza?
Well, there are backstories that can be shared, and there are backstories that can't be. So I suppose there are a certain number of folks out here that's watching this, so you know, I don't want to get myself in trouble. But you know, in general, Venganza is the Spanish word for vengeance. You know, I think everybody can relate to, at some point in their life, somebody somewhere has mistreated them, and it's the opportunity that you might have in your life to take vengeance. I think all of us certainly think that way from time to time. A perfect example is our lifestyle is, you know, it's being attacked by the government now. So I think every cigar smoker out there would like to have a little vengeance and be able to enjoy the lifestyle that so many of us so far have had the opportunity to enjoy.
Let's roll into round three. What's your strategy to keep beating expectations going forward?
You know, for us, it's not about expectations. You know, we're really looking to provide the consumers what they want. We want to listen to what they have to say. You know, we'll keep our focus on brick and mortar. We'll hear from folks there so much better. We have the opportunity to interact with consumers. And you know, whatever it is they want, and like I said earlier, we like to think that we make your time better with the products that we create, and our tagline is "Make it count." So we're just going to keep, you know, trying to put things in front of people that they enjoy and that they want to smoke.
So do you guys spend a lot of time traveling to different brick and mortar stores?
We do, yeah. I mean, between myself and Courtney, we're out there. So is Todd Vance. He's on the road constantly, and we fortunately have got a great team of brokers that are helping us, and they're able to give us the feedback. You know, they give us feedback from all over the country, and you know, we're constantly talking to folks like yourselves, and always open to, you know, anything that we can do better as a company.
Round four. We've seen the Cornelius cigar. When will we see an Anthony cigar? Or a Frank cigar, Steven cigar?
You know, I don't know. You guys, here's one of those cases where you're gonna get me in trouble. I'll just tell you, there's more cool stuff coming, and I'm gonna leave it there. You know, I was riding down the road today, and I was thinking about some things, and Courtney and I collaborate a lot, so we sent texts back and forth, and you know, it's a lot of cool stuff coming. I'll just leave it there.
All right, round 5. If your cigars had personality characteristics, what would their characteristics be?
Uh, that's, I probably can relate it to characters in movies a little bit better. I think these are, certainly things that folks would understand. I never obviously met my great-great-grandfather. He was dead and gone when I came along, but he just strikes me as a Sam Elliott looking guy. He's got the facial features, and I can just see him and Sam Elliott hanging out together and having a cigar. So, it's just kind of a Sam Elliott type of guy. So those of you who've seen Sam Elliott in the movies, he's a lot of fun. Then there's the Daddy Mac. That's really a working man cigar. It's named after my father, Mac Bailey. And, I promise you that right now, my dad is probably working somewhere doing something trying to keep things moving forward. That's just the way he's put together. So, he doesn't golf, he doesn't fish, he doesn't care much for the beach, but I can always tell when things are good for him. He's running around chasing somebody to correct him in some way. So if he's doing that, I know he's in good shape. And that's, my dad is just the kind of person that really tries to help other folks. He's very willing to help folks out, and that's just the way I see the Daddy Mac. It's a working man cigar. Venganza, as I said earlier, it's about vengeance, and as far as characters go, there's Zorro. Everybody likes a good Zorro film, or Batman. Heath Ledger was the greatest Joker ever, but ultimately Batman got his vengeance. And the Meridian is more of a traveler. It's just like Indiana Jones. It's a lot of excitement and adventure, and we've traveled a lot over the years trying to do the best job we can putting cigars together, and that's kind of the inspiration behind it. We traveling, looking around for the best tobacco, the best folks to work with. So I'm really excited about that product. I'll be happy when we're able to ship it to stores, which will be pretty soon.
Round 6, which is I've smoked an original Meridian just I want to say a month ago, and I loved it. So why the reboot?
The reboot's because it wasn't our best effort. I'm happy to hear that you got one that was really good, because there are quite a few of the original shipment. They were very good, but there were some in there that were not, and it wasn't consistent enough. And we take a lot of pride in what we're doing. Our reputation is very important to us. So we looked at some of the things that folks were saying. We got feedback, and just decided the best thing to do was to pull it back and try again, try a little harder this time.
Round 7, what's something that most people don't know about you?
I'd say I'm a huge football fan. My boys are too. I've drugged them into the curse of being Miami Dolphins fans, and we consistently get the whipping every year. And this time of the year, it's we're going to win the Super Bowl, and that's been going on for, I guess, over 30 years now. But every Sunday we're together. We're watching the football game together. Trying not to cuss in front of my children is difficult during the football game sometime. But it goes into my favorite time of the year. It's the fall. I love the fall here in Virginia. I love the weather change, the cool nights, and the leaves changing is beautiful. And my youngest son is a running back on his starting running back on a high school football team. So I'm there every Friday night. Always excited to watch him play, and hope he doesn't get hurt, of course. But we're just huge football fans. That's really can put so many things that we face in life, whether it's running a company or working for someone else, into perspective through a football game. So big fan of that.
Round 8. Now this one is it's interesting because I did the math, and I think I might have mathed it right, possibly, but it looks like you've been in the industry, your family has, for 150 years throughout different types of tobacco. So what types of insights can you give us in the differences between the cigar industry and different types of tobacco?
It's a great question, because I've never really thought about it. It's so much difference between growing tobacco because you're at the mercy of time, and you're at the mercy of things that are outside of your control, and it forces you to move fast and make quick decisions, almost reactionary decisions. In learning, going from that and learning the tobacco products business was a pretty hefty curve, because that was the experience that I had to build upon. And you know, because of that, there were a lot of dumb mistakes along the way, just out of ignorance as much as anything, and felt like oftentimes we would make a decision even if it was wrong. As long as we hurried up and made it, it was good. And the tobacco products industry is not that way at all. I mean, things have to be well thought out. There has to be a lot of time spent in discussions with consumers and what they want, and potential business partners and folks in the industry. And really, the interesting thing to me is the difference between the cigar industry and the cigarette industry. It's two totally different ways of conducting business. You know, this cigarette industry is, honestly, it's based on folks that are addicted to a product. You know, and they're looking, many of them are looking for a certain image with a product, and many of them are looking for how cheap can I buy something, because you know, I only have so much money, I'm on fixed income. Whereas with the cigar industry, it is so different. There's just a, you know, an artisan value that's there, that the creativity that goes into product creation, and the reception that you get from the consumer. You know, oftentimes in the cigarette industry, you don't know till 3 years later if you've done a good job or screwed up, you know, and sometimes it's so late in the game that you can't fix it. Whereas, you know, if I put out a bad cigar, I'm going to know it pretty quick. You know, consumers are going to share that with me, and you know, that's really a great position to be in. It's good to know if you're doing a good job, and the sooner you can know that, the better. So you can either build upon it, or try to do a better job, or try harder, kind of like the Meridian product that I was talking about earlier.
A lot of insight right there. Round 9, Todd recently deemed Brad, a good friend of ours. He's LCCJ in the CigarNoise app, or at LCCJ2008 on Instagram. But he deemed him your biggest fan. So if you could share any insight with Brad, what would you say?
You know, we just try to keep things real, man. You know, I mean, there are tons of cigars out there, and there's so many more today than there were 2 weeks ago. You know, we just have to really do our job, and we have to do it consistently, and you know, we're going to work tirelessly to do that. So, you know, I'm always thankful to hear a customer likes our cigar. It would be no different if I was cooking a meal for him at my house. I want to make sure that he was satisfied, you know, and I get a lot of pleasure out of that. So just know that we're going to be working hard every day to meet his expectations.
Hell yeah. And round 10, Stephen, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us your earliest cigar memory, and if it affected any decisions in your career today.
Quite a few years ago, when my first child was born, I'd gone on a trip to the Caribbean, and I'd actually bought a Cuban cigar. I don't remember the name of it. If I did, I wouldn't say it now. I just remember paying a lot of money for it because I was at some resort and thinking, man, this thing has got to be the greatest thing on earth, right? I'm not supposed to have it because I'm an American, you know, and I paid way too much money for it at a resort, so I'm just going to really enjoy this thing. After I lit it and got about, I don't know, not even a fourth of the way through it, I ended up putting it out in an ashtray in the hallway of the resort because it was that bad. And, you know, it really, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier. You know, I've only got so much time, and I know people in general only have so much time to enjoy a product, and, you know, we got to work extra hard to make sure that we're giving the best effort every time so that your time is as enjoyable as it possibly can be.
Absolutely. Well, boss, I know I really appreciate you. A lot of us are looking forward to this meet and greet you're about to do in the CigarNoise Virtual Lounge. Is there anything else you want to say as a bonus?
You know, just keep your eyes on us. We're working hard here every day, and some exciting things to come, and love this industry. You know, I've come from another side of the industry at multiple levels, but I have to say this part right here, the premium cigar market and all that goes into it is by far the most fun thing I've ever done. So, you know, keep smoking our cigars so I can keep doing this. This is fantastic.